we make perfumes from A to Z. I met Chabaud.
That gut feeling is the very important thing in entrepreneurship.
Because at the end of the day, you need to win heart and souls.
Say that again.
Luck is an important factor, at least 50%.
What was the hardest maybe lesson that you've learned so far?
You need to be ready to make sacrifices.
It's sense of ownership, which is important for a leader, right? No pressure.
We try to make something that is beautiful.
Okay, I'm the owner and I cannot have holiday.
A specific mindset to be myself.
Okay, good day everyone. My name is Екатерина Караваева and we are here on Leadership Podcast. Today, straight from France, we're welcoming Mattia Bono. Am I pronouncing correct?
Yes, thank you, Ekaterina. I am Mattia Bono.
Bono, okay. Welcome. We are thrilled to have you. Thank you for sharing your time and coming here to shoot this podcast. I'm very excited to have this conversation. I've prepared very interesting questions about your vision, entrepreneurship path, your transformation of your brand, of you as leader. So I'm very excited to have you here.
It's a pleasure and I'm very glad. I think it's a great opportunity because it's the first time I have such a great chance. And I'm also happy to share with your audience.
Thank you. So I know that you came to Almaty for Beauty Expo, right?
Yes, exactly. It's our first participation here at the Central Asia Beauty Expo. And it has been a very good experience. I saw a lot of interest because there were many visitors. And what surprised me is the enthusiasm by the people for the world of niche fragrances. And also how everybody was very curious to know more and details about the fragrances. And so it was very entertaining and also I think useful for Chabaud because I believe Kazakhstan in the future is going to be an even more prominent country on the world scene. It's a country on the Silk Road and it's at the crossroad of different cultures. And that's also what attracted me to come here because the cultural aspects in our work are very important. And I'm very fascinated by discovering new cultures like the one from Kazakhstan.
You're seeing the depths of our heart, which is so pleasant to hear. Thank you. Okay, so let's tell a bit about the brand and your entrepreneurship path. Like how do you personally came to this path? How was the decision made and what was your dream as a child maybe that brought you here?
well, let's say that as a child, I've always been very curious in general and quite daring to try new things and to be independent also. So I wanted in life to try and have my own venture as a vehicle to discover the world and also to have a personal growth. Because to me, entrepreneurship is also a path towards personal growth. As a man, I can say that my character never helped me a lot to take decisions. And being an entrepreneur is all about taking decisions. Therefore, to me, was a sort of arena, was a sort of field in which I had to progress, you know, as an individual, as a human being, and prove myself that I was able to take decision more swiftly and to have a more long-term view and also to act in a responsible way managing the company.
It's interesting. How come you entered the fragrance market? Because fragrance is, what we hear, right? We hear that families, inheriting this craft, the sense, the genuine sense of the nose. So you kind of have to take it from your grandfather, let's say, from genes. But how you ended up in this particular niche, let's say?
Basically, I've always been quite sensitive to smells, to colors, to details in general. And the sense of smell is the most neglected smell because it was a sense that was very widely used especially in the prehistorical time of our age. You know, when human beings were living in the middle of nature, they had to be very alerted all the time to their surroundings, and the sense of smell, the same as happens with all animals, was helping them to understand what was edible, to understand the presence of other animals around. So it's a sense that also can stay within our memory for up to 20 years. So this is something my father, who's a neurologic doctor in neurology, basically told me that we can keep a memory of a smell up to 20 years, which is very surprising, very interesting, and also something that I'm very affectionate by, because it keeps our memory even of people that we love very much, even people that are not with us anymore. It stays with us. So I find the fragrance business very fascinating. And I was in Montpellier, in the south of France, and I was working for a different sector, a different multinational. But in my heart, I was ready to start my own venture. So when I met the Chabaud, they just had the store. I entered, I smelled a few fragrances, and I found a universe of magic, because some of these fragrances were very delicate and very precise. At the time, they were only home fragrances. So I asked Madame Chabaud, that was in the store, what was the story. She said, yeah, we started in 2002, but now it was 2012. We stopped completely the activity since 4 years. And I said, but why? And she explained me, it was my family business. Then we had a family separation, so she basically stopped the business. So she had some old products still to sell, but that was it. And then I took some time to reflect about it, and I thought it could have been an opportunity, because I was looking for an opportunity to develop my own venture. But as I'm very curious and have a lot of ideas, not always easy to have a focus. So I had a chat with a senior family friend that told me, yeah, if you want to start a venture, there are also opportunities to start ventures that already have some past, some heritage, and you can reshape them, and you can give them new life, and you shape them the way you are, So I thought about it. I made a sort of plan in my head, and on
so
paper.
it as a challenge for yourself.
Yeah, it was a challenge, and I was also, let's say, brave and carefree, because I was living in my heart a desire and a need. Sometimes decisions are taken not just out of an opportunity, but out of a need. Mm-hmm. And at that time in my life, I was really ready and looking forward to have my own company. Mm-hmm. And so the intuition was to reshape Chabaud from scratch and drive it into the field of niche eau de parfum, from being a mainly interior fragrance company. And that's how the journey began.
Cool. Sounds exciting. Okay. So, but before Chabaud, had you have any experience in opening other enterprises?
I've been working in the wine industry, for example, because I'm Italian, mm-hmm. and I was in Italy in a winery, and it was very interesting. And that was my first experience, basically with the sense of smell, because mm-hmm. when whatever we eat, we smell it first. Yeah. So I developed also some skills about that, because when you also describe a wine, mm-hmm. the description is similar to the way we describe perfumes. Mm-hmm. There is an olfactive pyramid, and there are the different notes mm-hmm. that also come out of a wine. It's an experience, and it was a very good experience. Then I was ready to, and I was looking forward to work abroad again, because in the past I also worked in the Netherlands. And so I decided to enroll in an MBA program, and I did it in a very good school in Dublin at mm-hmm. UCD. And my goal was probably to try and work in the field of the arts, because I'm very passionate about arts also, and whatever is about creativity. And during the MBA year, we had some interviews with different companies. And one of these interviews was the month of April. I remember, just a few months before graduation, was with a very large American multinational in the IT sector named Dell Computers, one of the biggest companies worldwide. And I went to the interview because I said, look, could be interesting to see how an interview with them works. I was not particularly eager or motivated to probably win. I wasn't feeling that ready to win a job with them. And as I say, my main target was a different field, but I enjoy very much the interview process. The managers were really good, and I was very happy, and I tried to give myself the best out of it. And actually, I was hired to cover a position of brand manager in the city of Montpellier, which is the hometown of Chabaud. And this is how my journey approached me to Chabaud, because I ended up living in the south of France. I couldn't speak any French, but my job at first was in English, and then I learned French too, always with Italian accent, as my French friends would say, but at least they can understand me. And then after some years serving there, which was a very good experience, because I learned how a network enterprise works. What is a network enterprise? Basically, it's a type of company that has different business units located in different places of the world, because at the time we had, as a mainly direct business, we had a website that was made in India. The customer service was in Morocco. The headquarter for Europe was in UK. We were the headquarter for Southern Europe, and then the global headquarter was in the US. So it was all possible thanks to technology. And this was a very key experience in my life, because, for example, when COVID came, I was already trained by the Daliers. I knew that we could have kept on working even from remote. And also that's something that suited me very much, because one of my goals, let's say, when I started up Chabaud, was to have a flexible type of organization that also allow me to travel in different locations and work from different locations. Because, you know, as Italian living in France, it would have been comfortable for me also sometimes to be in Italy and working from there, or as now in Kazakhstan, to have the chance to work from the hotel. I mean, this is something that now is a given, but 10, 12 years ago, maybe it was not that
This was
foreseeable.
came, for me also very surprising that you have this remote team, and everyone's, you know, settled in all different places in the world. But we're gonna come to this. I have a lot of questions about the team.
So that's how slowly, because at a certain time, after 4 years, my dream since university was the day to have my own company. So I met Chabaud. I didn't know much about the sector, honestly, but I believe that it was very much a gut feeling that I was ready, and I fall in love with the fragrances. I thought there was a potential because of this sense of magic. And when you are in consumer business, in my opinion, it's important the feeling you get from a product, from a service, from an idea, because at the end of the day, you need to win heart and souls. So I believe Chabaud has and had already at the time this particular ability and sense of magic to impress people in a positive way, and also to give positive emotions and good feelings, and also to make alive again nice memories.
Nice. I want to put attention to this. Another leader is saying to us that gut feeling is the very important thing in entrepreneurship. Great. Okay, so what was the hardest maybe lesson that you've learned so far during your path of establishing Chabaud?
Well, I must say that especially the first years were not easy, because everybody will tell you that you need to make a business plan, and you need to make a business plan. unfortunately, the reality is that business plans exist in order to be revised almost continuously. So that was the first challenge I had. My first business plan had certain markets as main core markets, and these markets were based on the people that should have helped me to develop markets. But then these people had changes in their life. Therefore, I had to change also plans, because winning a market, you win with people. So, and if you don't have the right people, you need to do something or revise your targets. So first challenge was really be ready to be flexible, adaptable, and also now it's very fashionable the word being resilient, but I would say don't give up. And also something that I learned was also that personally you need to be ready to make sacrifices, because when you are a manager in a large company, you need to work hard, you have a lot of pressure, but the reward as a salary is usually given, while when you are a start-upper, your reward, your salary cannot always be given if things don't go well.
Yeah.
So
you have to stay motivated somehow.
Yeah, so to be adaptable, to be ready for the worst also is something that I had to prove myself to be able, to live that.
What drives you today? Is it, I don't know, people, product, the history behind?
No, I believe
the new ideas, opportunities, maybe.
When you develop a company, a brand, I'm a traveler more than an entrepreneur, I would say, because I enjoy traveling and I enjoy to live in different places and to learn culture. So I believe that managing a company, in my specific case, is also trying to live a journey. During a journey, there are good days, bad days, but what keeps me very much interested in what I'm doing is that it's a very good experience, and it gives me a specific mindset to be myself all the time, in the good and in the bad, because you see, I'm not perfect, nor as a man, nor as a manager, nor as an entrepreneur, but at least I don't have to wear a mask. I don't have to wear somebody else's clothes. I'm myself every day, and that's what I enjoy very much, especially is working with the people that are helping Chabaud to thrive worldwide, because we are partners in different countries, and they are the wealth of the company, and also they are the wealth in my heart, because these relationships are basically the aspect that I enjoy the most in my daily life. And the people that work with me daily, my assistant, the people at the factory, all the distributors, agent, everybody, our noses, it's very fascinating. You feel part of a family, basically.
Nice. It actually sounds as, philosophy behind every action you do.
Philosophy, I don't know, because I mean, there have been great.
Your personal
I
one.
studied some philosophy in high school, and I have huge respect before talking about philosophy. But let's say
it sounds to me
there is an idea. There is everybody.
Yeah,
I think everybody,
exactly.
when we try to look at us from far in an objective way, we try to be realistic, and also I'm quite analytical in my thinking, but at the same time, I'm also somebody driven by heart. So I combine a bit the two aspects in my daily life. And I mean, I try to know myself. Talking about philosophy, that was Socrates' main thought, know yourself, before anything else.
Which sounds like quite a rare thing to meet, in a business world where everything is only based on, intellectual part of it, counting, KPIs, whatever, achievements,
yeah, but,
one after another.
Yes, but that I think in the hierarchy of the process of management or whatever, it's our lower layers. I think at the top is very much to know yourself, because you are a human being. And every time, every morning, you need to wake up.
Love it. Say that again.
No, but I'm repeating. I mean, we can be whatever. We can be an astronaut, a footballer, an entrepreneur, a doctor, a lawyer, bus driver, pizzaiolo, the guy making pizza. You can do whatever job in your life. All jobs can be entertaining. All jobs are worthy. Every job needs to be respected at the same level to me. And we are human beings. So what is the motivation? And I think that also trying to have a balance at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the year, between what we enjoy in the work life, what we enjoy in our life out of work is important. And
you shouldn't separate them, yeah? Then maybe like stand,
No, but I believe, some people ask me, so what about your holidays? I say, look, unfortunately, when you run a company, it's not that you always need to stay on, but as having a baby, you need to
name
you need
it
to be
as
there.
it is. You don't have holidays.
No, you have holidays. You
every
have
day
holidays,
is a holiday.
But
can be.
No.
Depends on how you accept it.
To me, any spare hour, any spare moment, a day in the week can be a good moment for yourself to do something that you enjoy. And I think when you are relaxed, you can also think better, and that's also beneficial for your overall activity, you see. But then at the end, results are what drive companies. So we can talk about all the philosophy, but as entrepreneur, you need to look at results. You need to be realistic. So what I learned also from seniors, very good senior family friends and great entrepreneurs, they also told me a big lesson was that stick to a company till it gives you satisfaction. And so I'm always ready in the case things would go bad, for example, or I couldn't do well enough to probably have a change in my life, in my career, because I believe, and I try to repeat to myself in order to have balance, not to become slave of whatever job, or not become slave of things. Because also when you were talking about challenges, there are always moments that are down. So I believe it's important to stay realistic. You see, when I say never give up, I mean, it's not, fortunately, a game of life or death, but it's important to stick to what you can really achieve. So now I'm in the journey. I'm happy. I'm still enjoying it. Luckily, our company is healthy. But as an entrepreneur, I think we need to be always ready for the moment things will go less well, or it's life. So that's a lesson that I learned on myself. But I feel lucky, because luck is a very big factor in work. The ancient Greek were saying, men make plans and the gods are laughing. So this is something that always stays with me, not just because I believe in it, but it's part also of my upbringing, because I come from the Mediterranean. So I studied also classics at high school, and I really believe in our, I would say, timeless lessons from our ancestors, from Latin and ancient Greek, from ancient Roman and ancient Greek, because this is what shape our system of thinking, and so it's a system of thinking based on the human at the center, with his strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, a lot of things we can learn
and knowing
from
that
them.
we cannot be master of universe, which is the typical situation which sometimes we believe, that whatever our decision
Everything depends
could
on our
shape the
action.
future in I don't know which amazing way. Sometimes we are lucky because, I'm humble in the sense that I know that to have a successful plan becoming true, you also need to be lucky, and in execution, you need to be good. So I believe luck is an important factor, at least 50%, I would say.
Okay, let's talk about leadership itself and your style as a leader. How do you think it evolved through the time? We know each other from I don't know, for 10 years maybe. So how your style, your leadership style changed? And in general, what is leadership for you?
Well, let's say I manage a very small company, so of course my
Like small, give the numbers, okay?
sphere, well, it's a network enterprise. Therefore, we work with different stakeholders, but they're not direct employees because the
Like
factory.
distributors, yes?
No, I mean we are manufacturing company, so we make perfumes from A to Z. So we purchase components, we assemble, but we are helped by external factories that they're not my direct employees, but of course I have the responsibility to pay these services and also to be accountable for every single aspect. So accountability is, I think, the major aspect of leadership to me. You know, to be responsible, to take to put your face if anything goes wrong. That's the main thing. Because you see a leader when things don't go well. Usually it's easy to be leader when things go well.
Good, yeah.
And I like also to have people around me that feel empowered and independent, because it's important that you could to delegate. Basically, is important because you cannot be good in whatever you do. That's why I try to have professionals in different fields that support the company. And I think you can lead by example, and this is a critic I make to myself because I'm not always the person that worked the hardest or whatever in the company. So what I try to do is to reward the people that I know that are working hard with me. And at the end of the day, I think to make everybody comfortable also is the best way to lead, you know, because you don't need to put people under pressure for the sake of pressure. I think that when you choose people that have a sense of responsibility, that can happen, you know, in a good way. And the process of selection maybe is one of the most difficult one. So not always easy, but if you are able to build a good team, I think that you express well your skill of leadership maybe. But to me, to be a good leader is like to be perfect. You will never be the perfect leader. So it's always learn by doing.
I want to repeat that actually. So it's sense of ownership, which is important for a leader, right? No pressure, but really caring about the people that are working with
you. It
you.
Depends very much. Look, to be honest, it depends very much on the type of business you are, because there are businesses.
So in some businesses, you can actually
No,
put the
there are,
pressure on.
I believe there are sectors. I imagine. I don't know. I work with logistics.
Time
Logistics
can make pressure for you.
Around the
Yeah.
clock, and pressure is always there. You know, we are in a business in which we are under pressure by competition constantly. We are under pressure by very high demanding clients that have access to the best perfumes worldwide. So that's the pressure we live constantly. But we cannot feel the pressure in the creative process, because in a creative process, I think you need to listen to ourselves and try to be driven a bit by your gut feeling. Otherwise, you risk to curb your creativity too. And you know, the creativity is essential to make new good fragrances.
What I've heard also, and I want to notice it once again, the CEO shouldn't be the one working the most in the company, right? What do you think about it?
I believe that
Like delegate,
there are
you
no
know.
fixed rules for anything. I don't
But
believe.
sometimes, you know, they misunderstand the understanding of, okay, I'm the owner and I cannot have holidays. I have to be the one working the hardest, you know.
I think that everybody of us needs to listen to himself a bit, because you see, we are as human beings, we are a delicate balance, and our energy is not endless. And sometimes, for example, it happens that I can feel tired mentally, or that there are problems that are just occupying a large part of my head, and therefore I know that in those moments I'm not sharp, because when you have issues to solve and they're like a burden on your shoulders, you don't walk as fast as when you don't have that burden. So it's important sometimes to have moments to recharge. And for me, for example, I'm very passionate about water sports, and I love swimming in the sea. I'm from the Mediterranean. And it's a moment that really helps me to recenter myself, because first of all, you cannot bring your mobile in the water. And that's very good, because mobile, I call it a weapon of mass destruction, and it is, because I'm a super curious man. I've always been reading lots of papers since I was a child. Imagine all the papers of the world in your pocket. It's crazy. And you always want to be alerted on what's going on. You want to know things. And, this feed of information can drive yourself to have a lot of distraction and to miss focus. So when you are, in my case, doing an activity that helps to recenter yourself, in my case, swimming, I find it a very good moment to reorganize ideas, and also to feel re-energized again, you see. So I use some other activities. I also like horse riding, because the relationship with the horse, I know that here in Kazakhstan is very important. It's part of the culture, and I have a huge respect for it and a huge admiration. Also, I love the landscapes of this country. I think it's another activity in which you feel small in the universe, because you depend from an animal, which is a very noble animal, but it's still an animal, so can be unpredictable. And you need to create harmony with the horse. And therefore, you need to have a clear mind and completely empty from stress, from problem. Otherwise, you are transmitting it to the horse. And this is not good for a good ride. So it's another, way to recenter, rebalance yourself now and then.
I know that all your team in the company is working remote.
Yes.
Right? So how do you manage them? Like, what vision keeps...
remote. Let's say that we don't need to be under the same roof, because the factory, which is a bit of the heart of the company, it's near Paris, and also the logistic in the same location. And our company is not that big to have its own factory. So we are forced, for the volumes we make that are still in a niche company that are like ours, they're not huge. We couldn't afford to have, daily production. Therefore, we were forced to have an external factory. And this is not just me, but many companies in my sector and also in different sectors works in this way. Then regarding the rest of the functions, I have my assistant, Arianna, that she has a family. She is Italian, but she lives in France, near Switzerland, because her husband works in Geneva. And so she asked me to work from home, and I'm very happy. And she's also happy.
You're easy to this.
Yeah, because, when you have good people and they're trustworthy and fully independent, I was used to work like that with their computers. So, and also
have experience
in the past, when you even as a working in sales, you are used to travel and meet clients, and you work on the go. So you don't have to stay all the time in an office. And then there are all the people working with us in sales, in distribution, and so on, that we have regular meetings during the year. Sometimes we do events on site. So I go to visit partners, I participate in trainings, and this is always a great moment to enjoy, because you see the peoples. I'm very eager to be on the market, see the feedback, and learn from locals, because every market is different taste sometimes, and that's it. And then in Montpellier is our headquarters. We have a store. Sophie Chabaud, my business partner, is taking care of the store. Our accountant also in Montpellier. So it's like a family business with a different location in which people of the family work all together.
It's just quite a new perspective of looking to the business management for us. You still have KPIs, you still have, some achievements that you want to achieve during 1 year, 10 year, 5 years, etc. But you still, you're checking the KPIs with people performing from wherever they are, which makes it quite an interesting style of management, because I know a lot of businesses in Kazakhstan, they want to work remote, but they don't have experience and they don't see it as a possible option even. Imagine.
I think like there is not a solution that fits all, never. So I'm not an advocate of remote working for its sake. I said it was my desire because I wanted to be flexible myself. So as this is a small company, I can do
effects.
that. But of course, if I was managing a company like, I don't know, 10 times bigger, probably I would need an office. I would need to have a more constant presence. Probably. I'm saying probably. Who knows? But as I said, there are no rules. It depends very much on the managers and on the people around them, how they feel. And you can also make a test and see, like, for example, on a quarter or on a semester, you can easily make a test and see how things work. So that would be my suggestion for people that would like to try. I said there are ways to make a test. You can start with a few days during the week in which your workers can be from home, and you can monitor their performance. And I think that when people are trustworthy, there are no problems.
In your opinion, what defines luxury brand today?
Well, nowadays, I think that there are different levels of luxury. Let's say the major big brands from multinational, they are so well established thanks to a huge power of communication. They are conquering continuously a lot of space in the minds of consumers, in the minds of people. They are aspirational. I work in the niche sector, so that means we are more confidential brands. We believe we are luxury in the sense that we do everything with a lot of care and respecting everybody in the work. So people buying Chabaud, they know that it's a product made in France. They know that we are sourcing the best raw materials, and they know that everybody in our company is working in fair conditions. And I think this is a real luxury product because, we try to make everybody happy with what we do. And also we try to make something that is beautiful and with a soul. So that's my definition of what's a luxury, because luxury is, to me, is defined mainly by quality. You see, so there is a difference between aspirational luxury and quality. And also I think how we make things make a big difference.
How do you see then the leadership in luxury, in the future of luxury?
Well, I believe again, it's very personal, the approach. If I were the leader of a large luxury group, for example, I would have a lot of pressure, of course, on sales and results. But I think I would like to communicate as much as possible about the way things are made and why we do things in a certain way, so that consumers really appreciate our way to work, you see. And in Chabaud, in our small case study, I mean, that's what we try to do. And that's why I'm always present to answer questions to whoever is coming. And also I can answer sometimes to customer service myself, because I like to engage with clients.
Do you see Kazakhstan as potential market?
Well, I see a potential because I saw lots of interest at the fair. And in the past, first time we met many years ago, we were working together, and we saw that the brand was doing fine. And also we have fragrances for the different seasons. And this is a country that has 4 seasons again. And also young population. So we are generally successful with young population because we have very nice collection of gourmand fragrances, floral, fruity. I think it could be, and I would like, honestly.
And we would expect, honestly.
So it's on my wishes list to be successful in Kazakhstan.
Nice. I think that it would become very popular here because niche is becoming more interesting now for our audience here. Yes, we do love luxury and all these very famous, popular brands that everyone would like to wear because they're well recognized, basically. But when you start to have a lot of it, and we, Kazakhstan, we're not closed now, all of them can enter our market. We somehow would like to search for something very exclusive, exquisite. So yeah, I think it would become.
Yeah, that's what we try to propose, because you see, we believe that every person is an individual, it's unique. So it would be nice also to dare something different from the mass, and to differentiate yourself. And I believe that wearing an alternative fragrance, niche fragrance like Chabaud, could be a good thing to express your personality and to be more original. Thank you.
Thank you, dear Mattia, for coming, for sharing your story, your experience. It's very valuable, I think, for all of the watchers. If you have found something interesting, please leave a comment for us. I'm going to make Mattia sit and answer together with me. Thank you for sharing your experience.
Thank you, Katerina. It has been a great pleasure. And I thank everybody for watching and following this beautiful interview. And I thank you very much again for the chance.
We wish you success in your future adventures.
To you too. And again, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.